Hi, muscleytg here, and I am bringing you another build video. Like I said, last patch, I think I said it last patch, I'm going to be cutting down on my build videos that I'm doing. There's plenty of other resources out there, but I am going to do build videos that I am using and are my main characters for the Elder Scrolls Online, and a lot of that is going to come down to VMA. For those who are uninitiated, that is Veteran Maelstrom Arena. A lot of my builds are going to be what I use there, and I'm also going to be giving out trial builds for what I'm going to be using this patch on my various main characters. Okay, so we're going to start this one off with the Stamina Sorcerer. Stamina Sorcerer, this patch is pretty good. It definitely got a DPS buff. I experienced probably around a 7 or 8k damage increase. And I'm not even using the meta sets because I don't have them. So meta sets, what you probably should be using as opposed to what you might be using. Head and shoulders and jewelry, ideally, would probably be Reliquin. You can get the purple jewelry out of normal, just do +2 or whatever it is. On normal, you can get jewelry to drop. Head and shoulders are typically just trash drops that people won't throw away, but they're pretty useful now. So head and shoulders and jewelry, that makes a 5-piece on both bars. And then your body pieces, everything but head and shoulders, would probably be Locustes from Veteran Sunspire Perfected. You would want that, and then for your dual wield, you would want the VMA daggers, the Maelstrom daggers. But if you're like me and you haven't, you deconned your Reliquin, and you might be missing a piece of Locustes, but you have plenty of daggers for Maelstrom, and you're kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place, there's a few ways you can go about it. You can experience about a 5k DPS loss, probably bigger the higher you get in DPS, if you just went Reliquin, Agility, VMA daggers in a monster set. I tried that out. It was substantially lower than the route that I'm going now. So let me give you what I'm running, and this is pulling about 80k on console, give or take 1 or 2k, and I could probably squeeze out a little bit more out of it with just a cleaned up rotation and a more optimized bar setup. But for now, this is what I'm running, and you don't have to set up your bars like this. Go ahead and toy around this build if you'd like to. This build is definitely open to interpretation, and this is to help out the people who haven't been able to farm Veteran Sunspire and haven't been able to get all the gear and stuff like that. So this is kind of like an easier build to get. Now, with that said, let's get into the inventory. So, for the daggers, we're using Advancing. I know these are, I said easy. These are easy to get. All you have to do is go into normal, and it drops quite frequently. The daggers drop quite a bit in chests, and typically people aren't going to tell you if they got them, right? Because people are still looking for these. But keep farming, keep getting into those normal trials. Just go into Craglorn, join some pugs. They're pretty easy. You don't even need a tank upstairs anymore. And you can just go ahead and farm the chests in there, and also the last boss will drop a weapon. So go ahead and farm for the daggers of Advancing Yokeda. They're not really that tough, but if you have them, this is the setup. So daggers on the front bar, we run poison, double poison damages on the front bar. So on our daggers, so the only thing that is active are the weapon traits. So Nirnhoned for the main hand, and on the offhand we're using Sharpened. Now you could go Precise if you'd like to. It's all in what you want to run. So on the back bar, we have changed from the Maelstrom Bow. Thunderous Volley got nerfed a little bit. and the way it got nerfed, it didn't get nerfed directly. What happened was the length. Endless Hail got a nerf. Endless Hail used to tick every half second, but now it does not. It ticks it takes longer to tick now. So the Master's Bow is what we're using. Basically, what happens with the Master's Bow is you increase your weapon damage by 301 against targets affected by your poison arrow. And poison injection we're still using that, so it makes sense to run the Master's Bow. It's it's a DPS increase to run that over the Maelstrom Bow now because of the morph that we're using in our skill. So on the front, on our monster set, we're running Stormfist, and then and everything is Divines there, and then for our body pieces is the Arms of Reliquant. And we're not running Perfected because, like I said, this is a fairly easy one to get. And all you have to do is go into Veteran Cloud Rest if you have access to that, and just go farm it a few times. You should come out with a full set after a couple of days of just doing the trial 3 or 4 times. And then the jewelry is advancing. Now we're running 2 Bloodthirsty and an Infused. The only reason this is infused is because I haven't trait changed it yet, but ideally, I know for magic, Bloodthirsty seems to pull out ahead of almost everything this patch. Not really sure about stamina, but I'm just going to assume that for stamina, Bloodthirsty also pulls out ahead. Either way, we're running 2 Bloodthirsty and 1 Infused. We could run 3 Bloodthirsty and probably still be fine. Actually, probably be better off. So there's that. Alright, so our skills. On the front bar, we're running Rending Slashes. Has a nice bleed over 10 seconds. This update, let me just digress a little bit here. This update is all about damage over time. Whether you like it or not, that's the way ZOS wanted to change it. They wanted to change that meta, and they wanted everyone to change everything they're doing in the game. And this is basically erased class identity for the most part. So, with that being said, I am not a fan of this update at all. But anyway, this is the build. I'm digressing a little bit here. So Rapid Strikes is going to be our quote-unquote spammable. Barb Trap, we're keeping on the front bar. You could run Crit Surge here during a trial or something like that. It'd be fine. Bound Armaments, and Hurricane. Now, some people take, what they do is they'll take, hold on, I'll go through the back bars first. Arrow Barrage is our, on our bow bar. That's the thing, is it ticks every 1 second for 8 seconds, so you get 8 ticks. It's not really worth running the Maelstrom Bow, that's why I was saying that. Soul Splitting Chap, this actually helps our sustain by making it so we're casting a magic ability. Does 17,000 physical damage every for 10 seconds, over 10 seconds. So, you know, it's about 1.7k. Critting probably around 3 to 4k. Raid buffed, it crits even higher. Poison Injection, 17,555 poison damage over 10 seconds. So yet again, another one. Damage over time. They nerfed the damage over time execute portion of it to 100%. It used to be quite a bit higher. Barb Trap again. That's why I'm saying we could switch that up. We could probably put Crit Surge or something like that in place of Barb Trap. It does a lot of damage over 18 seconds, though. That's one cool thing about that. It actually does more damage than Soul Trap. And then on our back bar, instead of Ballista this time, we're running Greater Storm Astronaut. It does 6,090 shock damage immediately, and then it does 3,997 shock damage every 1 second. And also, this ability enables one of your group members to synergize and get Major Berserk for 8 seconds, which is nice. It's just a nice little group utility ability that I would run. And of course, Flawless Dawnbreaker also got nerfed. It now has a cast time. And this ability only activates after you cast it. What we used to get. Well, not what we used to get, but it increases your weapon damage by 300 after you cast it. It's not really worth casting. Basically, the reason why we use it is for the Fighters Guild passive. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Increases your weapon damage by 3% for each Fighters Guild ability slotted. So that's why we have that there. And also, the Storc has a passive right here, increases your weapon and spell damage by 2% for each sorcerer ability slotted. So you get that as well in your expert mage. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're running there. And then let's see, and then our boon is the Shadow. You could change this to something else if you'd like maybe Lover or something like that, depending on the content. Thief is also viable if you need the extra crit. Basically, where I'm sitting right now, 53, and then you drink the potion and you're at 63.1% crit, which honestly is good enough. And I'm using the food that I'm using right now is DPS testing food, but I stick with Dubious. You don't have to. There's other, you could do buy-stat food if you'd like, but to me there's not a huge difference in survivability. So I take the recovery over anything. Also, for your monster set, you could run Veladrith if you really wanted to, and it would be you'd be hitting probably higher DPS with Veladrith. So that's pretty much it. Now we're gonna do the champion points. So for our blue tree, we're running 6 into Weapon Expert, 13 into Master at Arms. We have changed a lot. Master at Arms used to be a lot higher, but we took it down. 66 into Thaumaturge, 61 Precise Strikes, 60 into Piercing, 64 into Mighty. So this is looking a lot like the Stamblade last patch, minus the Thaumaturge. But yeah, this is looking a lot like the Stamblade CP. I've been working a lot with this, and I found a few people that I trust, and they pointed me in the right direction for CP this patch. So that's my optimized CP, and that's for basically all trials. Blue CP, that's like basically probably your most min-max DPS CP on the Stam Storc for the abilities that we're running right now. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the build. I know it was really fast, but I also hope it really helped you out and maybe put you on the right path to building a Stam Storc the correct way. I forgot to mention that Master's Bow comes out of Veteran Dragonstar Arena, last boss. So you get 4 chances because it's a 4-player instance. You get 4 chances to get a Master's Bow. So I suggest getting a group of friends together and tackling Veteran Dragonstar Arena. It's not really that hard. There's a lot of guides up on YouTube, and go ahead and check those out and get yourself a Master's Bow and enjoy playing the Stamina Sorcerer. This patch, it's the rotation's super easy too, and there's a lot of resources out there for that. I'll upload a video eventually that will kind of go over the rotation, but there are other people out there that have uploaded rotation videos as well. So anyway, hope you liked this video. If you did, leave a like. Tell me what you did like about it, or if you didn't like the video, go ahead and dislike it, and tell me what you didn't like about it. Either way, I appreciate the feedback, and I want to know what you think about the Stamina Sorcerer this patch. Alright, so this is muscleytg signing out. Later, guys.
Woke up, told myself to push and never stop. I've been stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock. With my eyes wide, trying to get the panorama shot. Whole world getting blurry. way to me, answers getting lost. So I watch my back and keep it moving to the front, and remember that the world's yours. Do it how